Scanning for audio.
The Widow's Assassin. Another fantastic audio from Big Finish. Now, over the last few years, I have enjoyed Big Finish considerably more than I've enjoyed, well, TV Doctor Who. Especially during the run of TV Doctor Who. There were times during the Matt Smith era where I went, at least I've got Big Finish to listen to. Not great, because thinking back over the Matt Smith time, yes, I did enjoy it. But here we have The Widow's Assassin, answering, perhaps, some of the most impossible questions ever raised by television Doctor Who, and after 15 years of Big Finish they've finally got round to dealing with this. Nev Fountain has produced a script, well, that takes us to places we've always thought we should go, but never really wanted to. Last year we had Scavenger, a story where, and this is hardly a spoiler, the Sixth Doctor's companion perhaps ends badly. The Sixth Doctor was so upset by this he decided once and for all to find out what had happened to Peri. There were rumours, other stories, indeed companion chronicles, dealing with the after effects of, let's call it mind warp. Yes, I'm talking episode 8 of Trial of a Time Lord, but it's mind warp. The events where Peri may or may not have had her brain sucked out and turned into a mentor. Or she may or may not have married King Yrcanos and gone off with him to raise long, wonderful families and all that nonsense. We just never found out. The happy ending tagged on by Pip and Jane Baker made a mockery of the demise of a companion that had upset so many people, worse than Adric. We just didn't know where our emotions lay, and that was back in the 80s. Such questions have lain unanswered since then. And that's what this story is about. Our wonderful, intrepid Sixth Doctor has travelled back through time to what I can only describe as a remarkably comedic script. Yes, it's got dark themes, dark Doctor Who-y things going on, and so many spoilers that I couldn't possibly go into as much depth as I'd like. That is not the best way to review something. To say there's a load of things in this that I just can't tell you is the equivalent of going, no. But there are. If I was to tell you, it would spoil your enjoyment and it would just drive you mental, and you'd end up sending me an email going, no, that's wrong. What I am going to say is there are several things worthy of comment. First off, I started listening to this story on headphones, thought there was something wrong with the headphones, plugged in some different speakers. Then that didn't work either. Then I went on and thought I'd download the story again, in case there was something wrong with the MP3. In all of the cases, there was A, nothing wrong with my kit, and B, nothing wrong with the MP3. What was actually correct was one of the characters has been augmented into a sheep, and nobody mentions it for the first 10 minutes. For the first 10 minutes, somebody's talking and it sounds like there's something wrong with the microphone. That annoyed me. That also made me waste time that I could have spent actually listening to a remarkably good story. Yes, there are things that Nev just can't help himself from doing. For example, there is a queen who is seeking a new suitor, and she has many suitors, and she's putting them through, well, an audition process, shall we say. And if anyone's seen The Voice in the UK, they are aware that that is a reference here when the Queen has a chair that revolves around when she has to make decisions. There is also mentioning of sending potential suitors to boot camp. Characters, actually called Guard 1 and Guard 2, are worthy of Nev Fountain, if not the Sixth Doctor's time. Colin is desperately trying to play this ridiculously straight, despite the fact that all of the weirdness is going on around him. The other stories that have been with Colin of late have been darker, more, dare I say it, realistic. But here we have much more of a return to a slightly odder Doctor. And that could be important, and indeed it could be necessary for this storyline. So Nev has produced, yes, a wonderfully crafted piece of writing. You can't knock it there. There are moments of actual hilarity. However, there are moments of hilarity that distract from why you've turned up to this party. You've turned up to this party to find out what the hell happened to Peri. And for that answer, you'll have to buy the disc. So until next time, I'll leave you with the trailer for this particular story. Be seeing you.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The Widow's Assassin.
Once, long ago, in a land of monsters and corridors, a fair maiden was captured and placed in a deep sleep. She was used to being captured, and she had a hero who rescued her on just such occasions.
Hello, Peri.
Hello, Doctor.
I, appear not to have been invited to your wedding.
No, you weren't.
But this time the hero never came, and the fair maiden slept on.
Don't tell me. You've left another of your companions for dead, and you came to persuade me to rejoin you in your travels because you felt a bit lonely?
And still the fair maiden slept on.
Right at this moment. Things are very pressing. I'll explain later.
Not this time, Doctor. You'll explain now. Right here, right now.
Then the hero had another stab at rescuing the maiden from her prison, but he was too late, and more importantly, he had forgotten the rules of fairy tales.
Wolsey, let me explain the rules, because you seem to have forgotten them. Peri is the queen. I am her unpardoned prisoner, and you are my jailer.
He didn't slay the dragon.
Doctor, I am arresting you for the murder of Queen Perpagillium.
You've been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast, available on RSS, iTunes, Stitcher, Audio Boom and Tumblr. Doctor Who and its associated works are copyright of the BBC. No infringement is intended. You can contact the show, donate, buy merchandise or find out more about my other projects by visiting the Tin Dog Podcast homepage and clicking on the links. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.